Pause briefly and imagine Jarome Iginla's most iconic moment. Not your own cherished memory, nor the most crucial, but the one that encapsulates his essence. If a new hockey fan asked you about the universal admiration for Iggy, and you had one moment from his career to explain it, which clip would you choose? There's a wealth of moments to consider. Over 650 goals if you count the playoffs. All sorts of milestones, including his 500th goal, his 1000th point, and the night he became the Flames' all-time leading scorer. There's his marathon shift in Game 5 of the 2004 Stanley Cup Finals, known to Flames fans simply as the shift. There's the moments of glory with Team Canada, like the 2 goals he scored in the 2002 Olympic gold medal game, or the resounding echo of Sidney Crosby yelling for Iggy to pass him the puck before scoring the golden goal at the 2010 games. And who could forget the tribute paid to Trevor Linden by Iggy and his Flames teammates after Linden's final game. Like I said, a wealth of choices, each laden with significance. But for me, the first thing that comes to mind is his fight with Vincent Lecavalier. The two superstars squared off early in Game 3 of the 2004 Finals. Calgary's captain and all-time great against one of the Lightning's cornerstone players. Understanding the scuffle requires no affinity for fighting in hockey. There was no malice or contrivance in the iconic showdown. It was a collision of stars caught up in the intensity of playoff hockey. Inevitably, Iggy emerged victorious, as he often did. His willingness to drop the gloves epitomized his unique brand of greatness. He could pretty much do it all. He could score big goals, put together a dominating shift to change the momentum of a game, win a crucial battle in his own zone, or throw a massive open ice hit to get the crowd into the game. And if someone needed to step up and fight, Iggy could do that too. He was proficient in every aspect of the game, and there's a good chance we'll never see a player like him again. The notion of a power forward isn't exclusive to hockey. Other sports have them too. Like in basketball, where the power forward is one of the 5 traditional positions. The term refers to a combination of skill and strength. The type of player who's just as likely to run you over as he is to make a move around you. Once upon a time in the NHL, the power forward embodied a distinct breed of player. Gordie Howe and Rocket Richard set the mold. And as the game evolved through the 1970s, players like Clark Gillies and Terry O'Reilly emerged. The concept truly solidified in the 1980s thanks to players like Mark Messier, Rick Tocchet, and Brendan Shanahan. For many, Cam Neely epitomized the essence of the power forward. For others, it was Wendell Clark. And if concussions hadn't hampered him, Eric Lindros might have reigned supreme among them all. The old-school power forward could beat you on the ice or in the alley, and sometimes both at the same time. They could command the top line and lead the team in scoring, all while instilling fear with their physical prowess. For newer fans, it's hard to describe what it was like to watch that sort of player. Their unpredictability was their hallmark. They could net a hat trick or flatten a goalie, but you knew they'd do something interesting every game. If your team had one, he was probably a fan favorite, and if they didn't, you were terrified of the teams that did. The game's evolution, marked by a decline in fighting, has made it safer, more skillful, and for some people, more entertaining. There's still a few enforcers, and scuffles ensue from time to time after a big hit, but the superstar who can lead his team in scoring and also win fights against the toughest guys in the league isn't really a thing anymore. And that means hockey fans will probably never see another player quite like Iggy. His NHL journey began in 1995, when he was selected 11th overall by the Dallas Stars. But things really kicked into gear later that year, with what may be the fairest trade of all time. Joe Nieuwendyk, with 9 years as a Flame under his belt and a future in the Hall of Fame, was at his peak at 29. After winning the Stanley Cup with the Flames in 1989 and giving the team several seasons of consistent scoring, he asked for a change of scenery. The Flames, looking to rebuild, found a trade partner in the Stars, who were looking for immediate help and were offering up a solid prospect in return. In exchange for Nieuwendyk, Calgary received Corey Millen and a young prospect named Jarome Iginla. Critics initially mocked the trade as a windfall for Dallas, with Brett Hull of the Blues declaring Calgary got nothing in return. Fans in Calgary were also underwhelmed by the trade. Iggy was still playing in the WHL, while Nieuwendyk seamlessly integrated into the Stars lineup, and eventually won the Conn Smythe Trophy in Dallas's 1999 Stanley Cup victory. But it wasn't long before Flames fans realized they'd secured far more than nothing. Iggy's NHL debut came in the '96 playoffs, where he scored a goal in 2 appearances. The following season, he scored over 50 points and finished second in Calder Trophy voting. Iggy's career blossomed into an anthology of accolades. 3 first-team All-Star selections, a second-team mention, 2 Rocket Richards, and an Art Ross. He was a Hart finalist 3 times, won the King Clancy and the Messier Leadership Award, and even secured Selke votes. In a sign of respect from voters, Iggy often got votes for the Lady Byng, despite posting high penalty minute totals every year. And the fact of the matter is, Iggy absolutely should have won the Hart Trophy in 2002. Sure, Jose Theodore had a great season to drag the Habs into the playoffs, but Iggy led the league with 52 goals and 96 points, at the height of the dead puck era on a terrible team. No matter how you slice it, Iggy was the league's best player that year, and also his team's most valuable. He tied Theodore in Hart voting, the only time that's ever happened, but finished second because he had fewer first place votes. It was the wrong call at the time, and with the benefit of over 20 years of hindsight, it looks even worse. But perhaps that's the theme of Iggy's career. Theater writer casting his vote for the Hart Trophy, a Hall of Famer like Brett Hull analyzing a trade, or a goalie or defenseman trying to shut him down. He made you look bad. You couldn't stop him with the game on the line unless you were a fan throwing a jersey, and you couldn't ignore him unless you were a local Boston reporter. And if you decided to drop the gloves with him, he'd make you look bad in front of 20,000 people. Iggy was a joy to watch, in large part because you could see how much he loved the game. He was also a black superstar in a league in which that remains rare, and an active member of the Calgary community. Everybody wanted a guy like Iggy on their team. Now a member of the Flames front office, Iggy will try to help the Flames win the trophy he most wanted to win as a player. That's all for this look back at number 12. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.